Hello, everyone. I am CartoonKitsune, and welcome back to Toonkind at 12 FPS. Today, I'm going to be playing as Minty, the rabbit and resident therapist, and joining me today is...
Hello, it's me, Artist of Obsessions, also known as Obby, and today I'm playing a semi-new character. Hee We'll find out who they are when it comes to it, you know?
We'll get to them in a minute.
Mhm.
Yeah, so today, Minty's just kind of been out on the town, over in Toontown, running errands for people. She's kind of been offering to do this lately because she's sort of been gradually kind of getting over her like fear of going around outside like by herself, because it can be kind of dangerous out here. So she's been trying to do little stuff like this.
Angfo is very different from Blissland,
Absolutely.
and the fact that you can get hurt here.
Yeah, that's a little bit scary. A lot of it's scary.
You can receive an owie.
Yeah, I think just kind of doing general like errands, like Marcella needed a couple of like specific little ingredients, like maybe they ran out of cinnamon or something, and Snailian had this one book that she needed to return to the library, so Minty offered to do it for her because she had like some school thing today. So yeah, Minty's just been going all over Toontown, just running little errands, looking around, that sort of thing.
Okay. I, real quick, am going to make a roll for my own character to see how this goes. This is going to be a stealth roll for sneaky.
Oh wow, that's good. Let me see what her passive perception is. It's only 17.
I doubt it's that.
Yeah, no. So yeah, Minty does not notice anything. She just kind of merrily going along her way. Just being her cheerful little self, completely unaware that somebody is following her.
Unseen by Minty, or rather most of the populace of Toontown, there is a little UFO that has been following her for some time now. Watching her do her thing, go to different errands. Imagine that. Where would you say that Minty is right now?
I think she probably saved the like dropping off the library book like for the end before she starts to head back home, or head back to the studio. It's kind of become like a second home for her at this point. But yeah, so I think at this point she's she's like heading out the library, skipping down the steps. Notably, she's actually not wearing her button mail because it makes a whole lot of noise when she walks around, and she's probably like almost gotten in trouble at least once at the library for that. So
forgot she was wearing it.
Exactly, yeah. She's wearing her. She's wearing her little like kind of pinkish red cloak, though. She always wears that when she goes out. Sometimes she'll even like she'll like hide her ears underneath the hood so she's not as like recognizable. But I think today she's like kind of like not as like being like quite as cautious as usual because she's having a nice day, everything's chill, nothing bad's happened yet. So she's got her little ears poking out the little holes in the hood.
I imagine she's probably not as recognizable as say like an actor at Dodo Studios, but
definitely not. Yeah,
the fact that she's employed there at all.
Yeah, mostly it's because a certain incident that took place on a Halloween. Let's just say there's a certain group of people she worries about possibly recognizing her.
Yeah, I remember that.
Certain group of toons who have a propensity for pinstripes, let's just say.
Yeah, but look, this isn't about them.
Exactly, yeah, and like I said today, like, she's kind of been, like, doing this sort of routine, like, a bit more often, so she's a little bit more confident about going out by herself, so she's not hiding her ears today. I like to imagine that the hood on her cloak, like, when she has the ears, like, through the ear holes, like, it has the holes, but, like, when they're hidden underneath, like, the holes aren't drawn on, so...
That's so cute. That's
exactly.
really good. Anyway,
Yeah.
Minty, as you are leaving the library, I am now going to make an athletics check.
Oh boy. Let's see how this goes.
18!
18! I think that would probably be enough, because she's not very heavy. She's probably weighs about exactly as much as like a stuffed animal like her size would weigh.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Minty, as you're leaving the library, there is like a small sound, like a whoosh of air moving behind you, and then suddenly you feel two metal things kind of clamp around your sides, and you are suddenly being lifted upwards.
I'm imagining like she was like skipping down the street, and like for a second there, like she's like just skipping completely unaware, and then she like realizes she's not going anywhere. So
yeah,
she's,
no,
like,
you are
skipping in midair.
You are skipping in midair. You are going up. You are going up. Oh, you are going up.
Yeah, I think at this point she notices, and she kind of like starts struggling and flailing around a bit. Like, oh dear Reaper, what is happening?
As you start struggling, behind you there is a demand. Hold still.
Put me down, put me down!
I demand. Hold still. I do not want to drop you. And you are eventually carried towards the rooftop, actually, of the library, where you are unceremoniously dropped onto the roof.
She lands with like a little squeaky toy noise. Actually, let me roll hammer space real quick, because I think her first instinct would be to like pull her shield out. So that's a D10. 7, yeah, she gets it. So yeah, I think she like kind of scrambles to her feet, quickly pulls her button shield out of her out of her cape, and just kind of cowers behind it.
Well, you pull out the shield, and there's instantly like a little and the sound of something like turning on, like a little whoop, and if Minty were to peek out from behind the shield, she would see a little. Well, she's seen Mwene and Cody, yeah?
Yeah, no, they've met before, so.
So they kind of look like those two, except like different color scheme, different ship design. They currently have like they don't have a weapon, but they do have these fancy little glowing claws that they're just kind of like holding at their sides, waiting for you to do something.
He just like kind of cautiously peers over the shield. You see the little ears sticking. Actually, the ears probably stick up for a sec, but then they kind of flop down, like they're, she's a little scared right now, so they'd probably be like flopping down. Yeah. I think she just kind of like
provide your designation.
I think she's like doesn't say anything for like a couple seconds, because she's just like so stunned up, like because she was not expecting like this. She was expecting like probably like somebody from the Yakuza, but this is like a little UFO that she's never seen before. Yeah.
He's abducted you.
Yeah.
A new foe.
New foe.
New foe.
I think she's just like staring stunned for a sec. Like, what? Wait, what was the question?
Demand. Provide designation.
She kind of hesitates for a moment, like, I'm not sure if I should give my name to you. I'm sorry. Who are you exactly? You're a UFO, aren't you? Or
that information is classified.
Okay. She thinks for a minute, like,
but I will provide my designation if you provide your designation.
Okay, I guess that sounds fair. My name is Minty.
I am Z1-P, Sentry Class.
Z1P. Oh, Zip? Or which do you, I guess, which do you prefer?
When you said Zip, there was kind of like a little eye twitch of, no, that's not.
Yeah, I think she kind of like shrinks behind the shield, like, sorry, Z1-P.
Thank you.
Listen, if this is about the bicycle accident, we're really sorry, and I'm sure Larry's really sorry too, but it was really dark and we didn't see you. You didn't get hurt there in that, did you?
Query, what are you talking about?
And, can I roll history?
You
on
can.
This? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, 20. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
I
a
think,
20, Minty would recognize that this is not the same UFO as the one that they quite literally bumped into during the game at its core. This one has a different color scheme, different ship model. That one had a more chrome color to their ship, and their eyes were like a bright baby blue.
Right.
This little guy has like a more oblong ship shape that is kind of currently situated behind him with his two little arms at his sides, and has like bright purple eyes and little antenna ends.
Yeah, I think like now that she's like kind of gotten over the shock of like, you know, being lifted up and put on the roof, I think she's like had a moment to like actually get a better look at this little dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, sorry. I'm thinking of a different UFO. Like I said, it was really dark that night. Sorry for assuming. What? Can I ask what do you want with me?
I am looking for information. You will provide answers. You have no choice.
Well, now hold on a minute there, and I think like at this point she kind of like fully comes out from behind the shield. She's still holding it on like one of her arms, but she's not like quite carrying as much at this point.
Mm-hmm. Actually, when you come out from behind the button shield, Zip kind of backs up frantically.
Oh, push.
There's just like a little zip of movement, as you will.
Aw.
Now hold on there. Listen, I don't want any trouble, but if you were just looking information, you didn't have to grab me like that. That wasn't really very nice of you.
Irrelevant.
No, I think it's plenty relevant. If you want to ask somebody for help, then you shouldn't go around manhandling people like that, or they're probably not going to want to help you.
Like Zip does like a motion of like an eye roll. My mission is to remain secret. Therefore, we must ask our questions in secret.
You grabbed me out of the street in broad daylight. That's not that secret.
I was stealthy. And there's like those little sparkles next to his face. He did a very good job of being stealthy.
Yeah, I think she kind of like opens her mouth to retort, and then realize that no, she didn't really see them when they were grabbing her. So technically, they're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, fair enough. But I'm sorry, but I don't really want to help you if that's the way you're gonna treat people.
She kind of like crosses her arms at them.
Like. Your explanations are kind of falling on deaf antenna. Because now Zip has kind of like floated next to you and is starting to nudge you towards like the dome of the library. It's like one of those big dome windows in the center that kind of like looks down to the inwards of the building. And Zip very commandingly goes,
Demand, you will explain this. What is its function?
I think she still like kind of like frowns at them, like.
I'm sorry, but I'm not going to explain anything until you learn to ask a little bit more politely. Now, could you please try that again with a please and with a please?
Statement, I do not need to do this.
Well, you do if you want me to help you out.
roll a persuasion.
Yeah. Alright. Alright, that's her persuasion mod. Haven't used that in a while. That's 17.
17.
Yes, Minty is very stubborn about that. She is not going to help if this little guy is going to be rude to her.
Okay, well, the results are probably not ideal though, because Zip goes,
Fine. Demand, you will explain the library, please.
Okay, I guess that's a start.
And she'll kind of like turn around to like point down at the dome there.
So this is called a library. It's where we store these things called books. Do you know what a book is?
oh, there's a shake of the head.
Okay, so books are like little stacks of paper that you wrap up in a cover, and the paper has words on them. And the words are how we store information. So there's so you could write a story, you could write down information on different subjects like science or history, that sort of thing. And we store it all in the books, and they store the books there. And you can check out a book if you have something called a library card, and you can read the books and learn things that way.
Okay. That is good info. Like Zip is like listening very attentively, and once you kind of wrap up, he nods and kind of like puts like a little claw to the outside of his little his little helmet as he like thinks on what that means.
So this is a location where information is stored.
Yep, that's right.
Stuff like history and whatnot?
She nods.
Interesting.
He is saving that for later.
All right.
Demand. Further explain. What is a library card?
She kind of like, she doesn't say anything. She kind of like gives him a look like you forgot something.
Please.
Very good.
She replies. Well, she has to be firm about this. She's not going to help unless they at least attempt to be a little bit polite.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they learn. Right?
Well, a library card is basically the library's way of knowing who you are and who checks out which books. So you get a little card that has your name on it. Sometimes they have pictures of you, and every time you check a book out, they scan the little card so that they have a list of who has which books, which ones you've checked out, that sort of thing. And usually you can only keep the books for a certain amount of days, a few days a week. It can vary, and you got to make sure you bring the book back.
Sorry.
Yeah, you got to make sure you bring the book back on time, or else they'll charge you a late fee. But usually it's only a couple of copper. But it's good to try and get the books back on time, because if you don't bring them back, then other people can't read them.
Query. What is stopping someone from just going in and taking the books without a card? Is there a defense perimeter?
She thinks for a minute like how she should, like, how truthful she should be about that, because it's not like they have like a security grid or anything.
Well, I know the librarians would definitely try to stop you. Oh, and they have this little gate that goes beep, beep, beep if you fly through it, if you go through it without properly checking them out.
Statement. I will simply go over it.
Well, no, you shouldn't do that either way just because you can, because that'd be stealing. And like I said, if you take all the books from the library, then other people wouldn't be able to read them.
I do not see what the issue is.
And they just to think for a minute, like how best to kind of resolve this, because the usual way isn't working.
Okay. Well, think about it this way. What if there's a book that you really, really, really wanted to read, but it wasn't there in the library, and you kept waiting for it to come back, but it never did come back because somebody else stole it? You wouldn't like that very much, would you?
I do not know if I would want to read. I have never read a book before.
All your explanations are just kind of going over his head.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, well, for the sake of argument, let's say that there was a book that you did want to read, and like I explained, somebody took it and you couldn't read it because they didn't bring it back. How would that make you feel?
Frustrated.
And that doesn't feel very good, does it?
Negative.
See, and so if you did that, then you would make somebody else feel that way.
He seems to be contemplating it for a moment.
Statement. These books are for toons. Therefore, I do not feel bad.
I think like there's a very long pause as Minty has to unpack this.
Yeah, no, he said a very...
There are layers to how bad like what they just said is.
Yeah. there are layers to how bad that is.
He does not even know where to begin with that. Because even if Zip wasn't a toon, which they are, that would be.
You don't know that.
Exactly.
I mean, you're also a toon, aren't you? Or at least I'm pretty sure you are.
I am.
He looks insulted.
I am not a toon.
Are you sure about that? I mean, I don't want to assume anything, but I mean, the other two
I am
UFOs...
not a toon. I am. Pass it.
She thinks for a moment.
Your species are sparks, right? Is that the correct word?
You know, like that anime pose where someone looks super shocked?
Yeah.
Demand, how did you get this information?
She doesn't answer immediately. They forgot the special word.
He's too frustrated to use the special word.
Never mind. This is pointless.
And Minty, you can kind of see him, like, he actually starts like folding up into his ship form, which there's like a little divot on the back of the jetpack, and it kind of splits open enough to allow the little arms to click into two different places on the front and the back. And then the big dome helmet with his little face inside kind of slides into place into said little divot.
Well, hang on a sec there before you're flying off. I answer your question. Could I please ask one myself as well? You know, kind of in return?
Roll persuasion.
Alrighty. 19.
19.
Fine. You may have one query.
Okay.
why are you trying to collect this information?
That is classified.
Alright.
And then there's like a little a little raspberry sound, despite the fact that Zip doesn't have a mouth. And
Yeah.
Minty, you can kind of see him start floating down towards the entrance of the library.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll stealth.
Alright, I think I roll perception against that, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
I got a 13.
Is it okay if I slap a guidance on that one?
Yes, absolutely.
Alrighty. Alright, come on, big money. That's a
Yeah.
14. Yeah.
Mhm. You, Minty, can see Zip starting to float off of the roof, kind of leaving you behind.
Question, is there a roof access like up here that she can get
Oh yeah,
down?
for sure. For
Okay,
sure.
good,
'Cause
yeah.
I imagine that this library is like close to a little playground of sorts. So sometimes
Oh,
there's
yeah?
like kickballs and stuff that get kicked up onto the roof.
Yeah, makes sense.
So every once in a while one of the librarians has to go up and toss all the balls down.
Makes sense. Yeah, I think Minty would probably like kind of duck down and try to like keep an eye on like where Zip is going.
Mm-hmm. Zip is impressively staying out of sight of the other folks who are kind of going in and out of the library, and you can see that he's very quietly observing like the front entrance before his attention eventually goes towards like a small window on the side of the building.
Mhm.
And after a few moments of debating, he zips on over there, which notably the little boosters that are on the back of his ship emit like this bright green flame as he shoots on over there like a comet.
Hmm.
And then I'm gonna roll. Oh gosh, what are his thieves' tools? What is your proficiency with that, bud? He's got basic proficiency, so it's just gonna be a +3, I think. Yeah. So it'll be 20 plus 3. 22.
Dang.
Just one of the little arms kind of like unfolds from the front of his ship. And you actually notice that like at first there is like no sign of the fingers that he had before, but he gently presses like the little green button on it by like pressing it against his ship, and then the little hologram fingers appear. And then he very carefully just kind of sticks his fingers into like the lock
Mhm.
of the window, gets it open, opens the window, and starts hovering on inside.
Mhm.
So, Minty, what are you gonna do?
I think she's gonna head down the stairway access, roof access, whatever you call it, and head inside the library to try and see what this little dude is doing. Mm-hmm.
It probably doesn't take a lot to find him, because you are very aware that he's a little flying dude. So you keep your
Mhm.
gaze directed upwards. And he's kind of like hovering up towards the ceiling of the library, using like the like little chandeliers to like float above and behind them to stay out of sight for most of the occupants inside.
I think Minty's first instinct would be to like find a librarian and kind of warn them like, hey, there's this little guy going around. They kind of don't understand. They might not fully understand how libraries work, so they might try to like take one of the books and maybe keep an eye out for them. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
What would be an appropriate role for finding a librarian?
Perception maybe, or I could see like maybe investigation or survival, either one. I'll let you pick.
Yeah, investigation would probably be the one, because actually, yeah, investigation, because it would specifically going and looking for where this person is.
Alright. It's not as good as her perception, but here we go.
7.
7. Can I slap a guidance on that?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
All right.
A 9.
That's a 9. I think it, at the very least, it would definitely take her a while to like find a librarian. Like,
or alternatively,
mhm.
you find the librarian kind of like in the kids section. However, it's reading time, and there are a mass of kids between you and the librarian, who seems to be very occupied reading like a very lengthy chapter book that the kids are just enthralled with.
Well, she can't interrupt story time. I mean, that's pretty important.
Yeah.
But I mean, she could always try the front desk, but I think she might like try to find Zip again first.
Mm-hmm. Roll me another perception check, because you probably would have lost sight of him by now. But it'll be the same 13 from before, from his stealth.
Okay. Natural 20.
Yeah, no. You. There's one thing you know, Minty, and it's kids.
Absolutely.
And judging by like how determined he was to get in here, specifically when hearing the information that stuff like history was being stored here, you very easily kind of find him in the history section, where he's very carefully like scanning over the books, like floating around towards one of the topmost shelves and like reading through each title to see if anything catches his little eyes. He doesn't know that he's been spotted.
Yeah.
Hence keeping the same stealth roll from before.
Fair enough. Trying to think, because she wouldn't want to like startle him, because she's seen that like he's a bit jumping at this point. I think she might just kind of casually like take a book out and like start looking at it and like, you know, see if Zip notices her and like how he reacts. Like it's just kind of like casually hanging around.
I'm gonna roll a perception to see if he notices. Boop, boop. 8.
An 8? Oh, buddy.
An 8. He's so focused. He's so focused on his mission. He probably like floats directly above Minty, not noticing that she's there. And eventually just uses like the one hand to grab at like a bigger book that is just like history of Inkwell, general history.
You want to have a big strength check for that one, like if it's a big one?
Yeah, strength check it is. Oh no. It's gonna be a +2 for this guy.
Alrighty.
8. Oh
That's
no.
an 8. Oh, buddy.
Minty, you might need a dodge.
Need to roll a dex save for this?
Yes.
Okay.
9.
A 9! Oh no! I don't think she'd have time to react to put a guidance on that.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Oh boy.
There's just like there's a moment where Zip pulls the book very slowly out from the shelf, trying not to make a noise. And then once it's fully off the shelf, he did not account for gravity. And so there's a tiny as his arm and then the rest of him is sharply pulled downwards. And lands right on top of you.
Imagine there's like a little tusk cloud, and when it clears, you have both of these two lying in a pile with the book. And I know Minty would at least have like little stars, like kind of going around her. Same for Zip.
Zip has little spiral eyes.
Aww.
Eventually, Zip kind of like shakes his head and then wobbly like tries to float away from you, kind of spinning around in the air a little bit.
I'm gonna do you want to do like contesting con saves to see like which of them like snaps out of the dizziness first?
Yeah.
All right.
What's your
It's 14 for
con save?
Minty.
A 17 from
17.
Zip. Wow. This boy rolls high.
Yeah.
Zip, while spinning in place in the air, eventually rights himself up and shakes his head, and then narrows his little eyes at Minty.
You should just like
How did you get here? What?
I was gonna have her say like a non-stock sec order, just like, that's enough strawberries for the pie. And then she like does the thing where she shakes her head and like shakes off the dizziness.
He's just sitting there like, what?
Sorry that hit me harder than I thought. I walked in here? You didn't have to sneak in. Everybody's allowed in here. This is a public library after all.
He has kind of ignored you and has moved on to new questions.
What is strawberries? What is a pie?
Sorry.
Are these weapons?
They're not.
And then she stops for a second as to think.
Well, I guess the pie is kind of like contextually, like well, I guess it's kind of depends on the context for the pie. But primarily they're food.
Food.
He just like squints.
Query. Where can I find a pie?
Well, there's usually a kind of shop called a bakery where they make pies and all sorts of other stuff like cupcakes and cookies and cakes.
And she'll list off a few like things like that.
Are all of these also weapons? Or are they food?
Well, primarily they're food, but if you throw a pie at someone, you can technically count it as a weapon. I mean, it doesn't really hurt. It's more for the gag, so.
Demand. Explain gag. Please.
He actually like looks like really delighted that like she didn't have to like, you know, prompt him to say please that time. Like, yay, he's learning. She's very proud.
He is learning once.
Every little bit helps. Sorry. I got thrown off. What was the question again?
Oh gosh, what was the question again?
Oh god.
I think it was to like explain
I was explaining gags.
yeah, what's a gag? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that one's a slightly more complex question. Oh, hold on a sec.
I think she'd probably like skip over to like a nearby section. It'd probably be like some kind of, I don't know what specific kind of book, like a book about like what gags are, like different kinds of tune gags, that sort of thing. Maybe like it could even be like a history of gags or something.
101 gags.
Yeah, exactly.
101 gags throughout the history.
Yeah.
Throughout history.
Perfect.
It's like illustrated like a 101 jokes book.
Nice. There'd probably be like little illustrations of like stick figures like throwing pies at each other. She probably like check the index for like that specific page. Like this one.
Well, gags are, it's sort of like a kind of joke. Actually, and a joke is...
Oh god, how do I explain this?
How do you explain a joke?
This is true. Oh god, this is tricky.
Well, and a joke is, Well, I guess the simple explanation would be it's something that makes you laugh.
Like, Zip is like looking through the page, which has like the little illustrations and explanations of like the gags involving pies.
Minty kind of mumbles to herself, like,
Oh, golly, I wish Sunny was here. She knows so much more about the stuff.
Query. What is Sunny?
Sunny's a friend of mine from back home. She's a monkey, and she knows all about guys because she wants to be a professional clown.
and she'll probably ramble on.
Explain monkey.
Well, a monkey is a type of animal. They have like kind of little round ears and long tails that they use to swing from trees.
Do you want to roll insight real quick?
Absolutely. Hold on, let me get this.
Well,
Oh, come on. Well, I mean, it's still a 12. Technically, nat ones only count on, like, attack rolls, I think, right?
yeah.
It's still a
Oh,
12.
it isn't that one. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, in Brawl rules, technically, like, a crit failure or crit success, like, only counts in, like,
Mhm,
attack damage, so it's still a
Yeah.
12, is what I'm saying. Like, it's not
Yeah,
necessarily an auto-fail.
I think
I don't know if you get the reason, but for some reason Zup looks incredibly pleased with himself. The reason for you is he demanded an explanation for a monkey but did not say please, and he still got it.
Oh, no. How could you do this, Zip?
He's a clever little boy.
I think with that roll, Mitty's just gonna assume like he's pleased with himself because he's learning or something.
I mean, yes, it's learning
is true.
loopholes, but
Gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she's
Statement.
probably like.
you
Oh,
are
yeah. Oh, sorry.
intelligent.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's probably the nicest thing he said to her at this point.
Mhm.
And you seem very inquisitive.
Query. What does that mean?
Well, that means that you like to ask a lot of questions and learn things, and I'd say that's a very good thing because you should always be trying to learn new things.
He's got the little proud of himself sparkles next to him again.
Yeah, there we go.
Mhm.
I think Minty would probably like kind of keep showing him like some more of the gags, like because if he doesn't like know all that much about tunes, like
Mhm.
teaching him what gags are could be kind of an important thing.
Mhm, mhm.
Definitely go through all the classic ones like the good old whoopee cushion, like slipping on a banana peel, that kind of thing.
Mhm,
Actually,
mhm.
funnily enough, I think like the banana peel one specifically, like she kind of skips past that page, and Zip can roll an insight on her if he wants to.
Insight. Okay, I can attempt a insight. That is a flat 0.
Yeah,
8.
yeah, you get nothing. This bunny just like skipped past like a whole page like for no reason. What's up with that? That wasn't cool of her.
Demand. Flip back. You missed one.
I think she almost like flips back without thinking, but then she's like,
Bop, what's the magic word?
He groans.
Please.
"Got on."
Please.
She's thank you. And then she'll flip back to it.
Sorry about that. It just, I guess I kind of had experience with that one once.
You gotta just like the banana peel gag.
Mm. Query. Do you not like gags?
Well, no, I like gags. I just,
Thanks for a moment.
I guess I kind of be careful when it comes to gags, cause it's not very fun if everybody's not laughing, and sometimes you can use gags in a mean way. Like, for instance, like, take this one with the banana peel here. If somebody slipped on it and they got hurt really, really badly, then that wouldn't be very funny. Well, I guess the person who set up the gag might laugh if they're not very nice. But it's not funny for the other person. But, for instance, if you do a pratfall, like maybe you set up the banana peel and you slip on it, and you know how to land properly, then that can be funny for everybody. Like if you're part of a show or something.
This is like the first time you've gotten Zip to like think about this.
Yeah.
Those kind of gags are the kinds that confuse, don't abuse. That's always a pretty good rule to live by. Sunny's told me that a few times, and I definitely agree with her on that.
Confuse, don't abuse.
Exactly.
Observation. Gags seem interesting.
Yeah, I think they are. They're definitely a pretty big part of Toonkind culture, that's for sure.
Also, do you want to say that like they just kind of hang out for a little bit and she just go through the book together and like she'll like help explain like different gags to him? Yeah.
Yeah. Once they get
Yeah.
to like the more slapsticky ones, he's just kind of like confused again.
Definitely. Yeah.
Observation. A lot of these are used as weapons, but they are being listed as a gag.
Well, in certain cases, I know some tunes developed some of these gags as ways to sort of self-defense in a sense, but in a more humorous fashion, so to speak. Hang on, I think the word is in here.
I think she flips to one page, probably near the beginning, that says,
Here it is. Shad and Freud, it's a comedy that is derived from someone else's suffering.
Observation. Wouldn't that be rude, though?
That is true, you're catching on. I think in that, well, remember what I said about self-defense? I think the best way for that gag to work is if, let's say that there's, somebody is coming at you with a bat or something, and they're trying to hurt you, and they're not very nice. You pull one of these gags on them, as a way to defend yourself. And, now, personally, I'm not really all that much for, fighting and violence and stuff, even if it is self-defense. I do avoid it just because I don't like to hurt other people. But in this case, because the other person is acting bad and mean, it's sort of, what's the word? Karmic sort of thing? Yeah.
Zip has actually kind of fallen a bit quiet, like as you've explained things.
Can I roll another insight on that?
Sure.
Yeah. There we go. Those are the
29.
numbers I like. Yeah.
You clock onto it instantly. You specifically talking about not liking violence or stuff like that has somehow caused him to pause and to like look very confused.
Is everything okay there? Z1-P? You look like you might have another question.
Oh, Query. You said that you do not like violence. I
She
thought
nods.
all Toonkind liked violence. That is what we were told. That is what I have experienced.
She definitely looks like shocked by that for a minute, and then
But no, of course that's not. Wait, did you say what you experienced?
I think her ears kind of like flop down again, like in that kind of like sad, sort of like shocked kind of way.
Explanation. As I was observing a group of Toonkind at a competition involving construction of machines, I was spotted. They did not like me. They threw something sharp at me.
Real quick before I have her react to this, can I roll history to see if she'd like remember that particular event?
Yeah.
Because she wasn't there for that one, but she definitely heard about it because a certain friend of hers participated in that one. That is a
Yeah.
12.
That's a 12. I think because, like, yeah, Bob was A, a participant, and B, probably the whole studio talked about it, that Bob was on TV.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I think she only heard like kind of bits and pieces about it, but she heard that Bob won and that was cool. For some reason, they didn't want her. She was asking about what happened, and for some reason, at one point everyone was like, "Don't look at the screen," and she still has no idea why. The reason for that was because there was one bit where there was like a lid on the car and had to get it up
hang on.
like.
You cut off a few
what?
times for me.
Oh no, that might be my internet connection. How am I sounding now?
You're sounding better, yeah.
Yeah. Basically, TLDR, a stuffed rabbit, not the alive kind, but it still got like torn up during the race, and nobody wanted her to know about that.
Yeah.
She might have gotten an extra hug from Bob that day for some reason. She still doesn't know why, though.
Just picture Bob hugging Minty and there's just like visible question marks above her head.
I mean, she's not going to complain. She'll take any excuse to hug her friends, but still.
Good.
Yeah. Anyways, getting back to the situation at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now she looks visibly upset when she hears this. And she's like,
Oh golly, I'm so sorry that happened. Are you okay? Did you get damaged?
I think she's kind of now looking them over for like any signs of like, injury or stuff like that.
I was not injured. They weren't good at aiming.
Oh, well, thank goodness. Still, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Do you know what they looked like?
I'm gonna roll history for Zip to see if he how many details he can recall, essentially, because he can't recall what they look like. It's just a matter of how much can he recall.
Oh, of course, yeah. Go for it.
13. Okay, probably just the most average.
One was green and orange. Appeared like
He thinks for a little bit before he looks around, floats towards a book, pulls it off the shelf and points to a little picture of a lizard just in a random book.
Mm-hmm.
had skin like this.
She nods. She kind of mentally notes this down. I think that would probably be history at disadvantage based on how vague the description is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because wasn't this character also on the
Oh, that's
train?
Nat 1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, Nat 1.
Yeah, she has no idea. That could have been anybody.
Yeah, could have been anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The other individual was tall, wore red,
frizzy, and he his two little arms temporarily disconnect to gesture above his dome, frizzy hairstyle.
Oh, that's a neat trick.
Let me do another disadvantage history roll, see if that rings any bells. That's a 10.
I think with a 10, Minty can recall someone in the race looking like that, but it would probably take a rewatch in order to identify who.
Fair enough. She'll just kind of chuck that in the back of her head for later.
Well, whoever they are, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That wasn't very nice of them at all. It was awful. Especially if you're just watching them.
Is that not normal for around here?
She says, no, not at all. I mean, well, I guess it kind of depends on the person. I mean, I know sometimes people their first instinct might be to attack if they get startled or something, but majority of people around here I don't think would jump to that immediately. But like I said, it depends on the person, and I can definitely say for certain that not every single Toon would react that way. They were definitely in the wrong for doing that to you.
Aww.
Yeah. And I will note that, I don't know if Zip would have to roll anything for this, but there's kind of evidence to this because, like, when Minty was, surprised by getting picked up, her first instinct was not to, like, throw something at Zip, but rather to hide behind a shield.
Yeah, this is true. Now he's thinking about that too.
Yeah.
Which Minty could also probably gather more information that maybe Zip was trying to move her to a location where they would be alone if she reacted violently as he expected.
Right. Not to mention the way that he flinched so hard, like when she got up from behind the shield. She definitely put some pieces together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she might even say at this point, like,
So, were you scared of me, when you after you picked me up because of what happened to you?
No.
You don't even have to roll insight, he's lying.
Yes.
Well, okay, but just so you know, it's okay if you were scared, because that's a completely natural reaction to something, like, especially if you thought you were in danger.
Oh. Then yes, I was scared.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, it's not okay that, you had to feel scared around other Toons because of that. Actually, oh gosh, that's probably why you were so upset when I said that you were a Toon, wasn't it?
There is just like a little shrug, but like half shrug, half nod.
Yeah.
Statement. You are not like what I was told. You are nice.
Oh, well, thank
I
you,
like
Anna.
Oh, I think you kind of like see the like little happy like sparkles around her when they say that. Is delighted.
You have grown on the boy.
Yeah. We're not immune to Banui.
Not immune to Banui.
Is it okay if I ask, who told you that, or is that also classified?
That is...
Roll a persuasion.
Ooh.
16. Okay.
That's pretty good.
That is... still classified.
Would it be,
But he considered.
He considered.
It's okay. I think I might kind of have an idea of who it might be.
Demand, how do you know so much about us? Please.
There he goes. Nice. Well, because he said please, she's definitely a lot more willing to say something.
Okay. I can't give you the names, but that's just for my friend's sake and my friend's safety. and not because I don't trust you necessarily, more because I don't trust who I think you might be working for. Does that make sense?
Again, there's just like a tilt of the head.
Yeah.
Why would you not trust?
He doesn't like this logic. He's not going to continue that question.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, for now, let's just say that their names are classified for now. But let's see. I have I have a couple of friends that I know. They're I think they might be from the same place you are, but they had to leave that place because, well, that place wasn't treating them very well.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna roll history
Ooh, yeah.
to see if he catches on what she means. 10. No.
Can I add
He's
one more
not
detail to
connecting
like
the dots.
can I add like one more detail to like maybe like put it at like advantage or something?
Sure.
And, well, see, the thing is, my friends can't go back there anymore because if they do, then the people there might hurt them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 22.
That'll do it. That's a 19 on the die, by the way, for those listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. You are in contact. Oh. I see.
He seems to have suddenly become less open. Like, he seems more closed off abruptly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do know them. Is that a problem?
Yes and no.
Right. Well, either way, if you do know who I'm talking about, then maybe you kind of understand why I couldn't tell you what their names were before.
Understood.
Mhm.
We have been told to keep an eye out. But nothing else.
And you haven't been ordered to take them away or anything, have you?
Like, for a moment, he looks like he might be saying, like, one thing before he, like, thinks about it and then goes,
No. Just observe.
I'm a little tempted to. Would you need to roll insight on this to like tell if like he's telling the truth or not?
sure, go ahead.
All right, just to make sure.
A
15.
15. Let me look at his passive. Yeah. Okay. I think with the 15, because that does beat his passive deception, he is actually telling the truth about that. No, they haven't been ordered to like do anything to M1A or Cody. It's just keep an eye on them. In fact, you could probably assume with that insight that originally he was going to lie and then decided better of it.
So he was gonna say like, yes, we are after them, but decided to tell the truth.
Yeah.
That's good. That's definitely a lot better.
Well, okay then. Well, as long as you're just going around and gathering information, I think that's fine. Just as long as you're not gonna hurt them or anything, which I believe you. I don't think you are. I just I wanted to make sure because, like I said, they're my friends, and I don't want anything to happen to them.
Query, is this the new function that they have given themselves? Being a friend?
Well, I don't think it's the only function, but it's definitely one of them.
Follow up. What is your function?
Well, I'd say being a friend is probably a big one, but for the most part, I'm what's called a caretaker. And I back home, there are kids who visit there, and I play with them. I talk with them, that sort of thing. And sometimes if they have a problem or something they're worried about, I'll talk with them and I'll try to help them figure out the solution, that sort of thing.
Minty caretaker.
And like he like makes like a little nod, like he's filing that away.
Yeah. I think Minty kind of nods. Like she's very familiar with the sort of like naming convention because the UFOs have definitely done it to her as well. I think currently her designation is like Minty friend, or I don't know if she's gotten Minty teacher yet, but she's definitely had Minty friend before.
Oh, that's cute. Oh.
Yeah.
I think Zip's just gonna go with the provided definition.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And like, you can see that like Zip's focus has slowly started like going back to like all the books that are around him.
Yeah, that's all right. I think now they've kind of settled that, I think Minty's fine going back to doing some reading. I think she'll definitely ask though.
I think we've gone through most of the gag book for the most part. Was there any other things you were looking for?
Maybe I could help get one of the books down. I know I have trouble with those too. She kind of like flops one of her little like, pillow arms. Just to kind of show like, hey, there's no shame, and then like, you had trouble lifting one because like she's kind of a wuss too.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. She doesn't mind it. She knows what she's about.
I think the gag book will suffice for now.
Hey, actually, do you want to take it with you? Well, I guess I don't really know where you're staying, but you're allowed to stay in the library here until it closes, but if you want to take any books with you, I can show you how to get a library card if you like.
It just goes right back to
Statement, I do not need one.
just slowly picking up the book and bringing it like into the little abductee thing.
Well, hold on a second now. Will you remember what I said about how this is a public library and you don't have to sneak in to get more books?
Oh.
He just
And if you have a library card, then you don't have to worry about sneaking in anytime you come back. You can come back whenever you want and just come in through the front entrance. Doesn't that sound a whole lot easier than having to pick the lock every time?
How did you know I did that?
Well, I was on the roof, so, I had a pretty good view of things.
notes under Minty caretaker, sees everything.
It's her. There's just a little thought bubble above his head, like with the self-care Minty with the glowing eyes.
Yeah.
Minty sees all.
Minty sees all.
Statement. It might be beneficial to gain a library card. However, I must remain relatively unseen. So I do not think I can get one.
Think for that for a minute. Yeah, she definitely like spends a couple moments thinking about that because, like, on the one hand, she can kind of understand like why they wouldn't want to give out their like identity if they're kind of doing this secretly. Like they can always like do the classic disguise bit. She probably is. I'm pretty sure she has disguise kit somewhere in her hammer space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think actually, Zip at first goes,
Demand, or no, not demand.
What about query? Would that work? Query?
Query. Can
There you go.
you borrow the book, and then I borrow the book, and then I give back you the book later?
Yeah, I was thinking that could maybe work because I've already got a library card. However, there is one condition.
Yes?
You gotta promise me that you're gonna bring the books back and that you're gonna take good care of them, because remember, these books belong to the library.
I will bring them back to Minty Caretaker.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that then.
You are not holding me, though.
I think she kind of has to like stifle a little giggle at that.
No.
Oh.
No, it's a turn of phrase. Sorry, I should have explained it. Basically, it means that I'm putting my trust in you, and well, when you trust somebody, it means that well, you kind of make an agreement on the. It's like when you make an agreement, like we did, and you have to just sort of believe that they're gonna follow through and that they're gonna do what they say. And you gotta be careful with trust, because it's something that's really fragile, and once it breaks, well, it's a little bit hard to put back together, you know?
Oh.
Mhm.
Interesting.
He's just quietly fascinated.
Yeah. But yeah, Minty's gonna give him the chance to like she's gonna trust that he'll hold to his promise and bring the books back. I think they'll probably talk about like maybe like if they can meet up like once a week or like a couple times a week or something.
Yeah,
They could just,
yeah.
like, meet back up at the library to like return the books, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, may I please ask another question?
Yes.
Do you have somewhere to stay at the moment? Anywhere safe? Like,
Mm,
Like, Zip kind of like does like a little seesaw motion with his whole ship because he doesn't have his hands out currently.
Form. Sorry, I may have missed part of. I think the internet cut out again, or your mic or something.
Oh, pats you. I said that Zip kind of does like a seesaw motion with his whole ship because he doesn't have his arms out.
Oh, that's cute.
well, where are you staying right now?
He like
Actually, I think she probably thinks for a sec like a more specific question, like,
Well, do you have somewhere where you go when you need to power down for the night? I mean, you guys gotta recharge, right?
I go to rooftops. Places that are quiet. And not often traveled.
Makes sense.
out of character, I'm trying to think because like she'd want to suggest like somewhere like slightly safer that they could maybe stay, especially like if she needs to find him again, because like inns you have to pay for. Maybe like somewhere in town, like something that where they might have like an attic or something that like they could stay in, because she can't really bring them to Dodo Studios because like she's not sure if that would be allowed, especially considering they're still technically working for the Great Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on the opposite sides here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, if the Zip is saying like rooftop and stuff, I think she'd probably like, kind of mentally go over a list of like places she's seen where like there are rooftops that have like kind of overhangs or something, like places that would be at least marginally safer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's definitely gonna like kind of keep this in her head and like try and sort of like figure out like maybe somewhere else like Zip might be able to stay in the future that's like a little bit safer. Yeah.
Query. Where were you heading before I picked you up?
Thanks for a moment.
That might be classified, just because, I'm putting a little bit of trust in you, but telling you where I'm staying in town might be a little more trust than I'm willing to give at this point. It's not your fault or anything. It's just, well, we've only just gotten to know each other, and it's kind of a bigger thing to trust someone with, if that makes sense.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe I might be able to tell you, like, once we get to know each other a bit better. I mean, it sounds like we're probably gonna meet up a bit more if I'm gonna be helping you get books and whatnot.
There's just like again like an affirmative nod.
I think like one more thing she might bring up.
There was one other thing I'd like to ask. Would it be okay if I told my 2 other UFO friends that I met you? I won't give out your name or anything, or what you look like, or where you're hiding or anything like that. Just, I think it might. I don't really want to keep this from them either, but cause well, they got kind of nervous when they started hearing about other UFOs coming down here. But I think it kind of settled their nerves that they know that you guys that you're not out to get them or anything. That you're just here to learn.
I am unsure.
Actually, let me make a promise to you too that
She holds up like one of her little nub hands, like in a kind of a swearing in sort of motion.
I promise not to tell them where you are or where to find you unless you give me permission to.
Like he like tilts his head a little bit and like kind of thinks on it a little more.
You want me to roll persuasion on this one?
Oh, actually, he's kind of thinking about doing something else.
Ooh.
Promise isn't necessary.
Are you sure?
If you need to tell them, it is okay. But make sure you are not being observed when you do. I do not want to get in trouble.
Oh, of course, I can definitely do that. I'm actually usually a lot more cautious when I'm going around town. Today was sort of an exception. I guess this shows that I need to be a little more careful when I'm walking around.
Oh, hang on.
Oh.
You cut off a little bit again.
Oh no.
It
She was just saying
the
that.
tail end of it though, so I think you're good.
Yeah, I think you got the most of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zip can ask why if they want, like why she's already being cautious.
Yeah.
How come you are being cautious?
She had to consider this for a moment, and I think definitely decides that like this would probably be good information to pass along to them.
Thing is, when I first came to Toontown, I ran into these people who were, bad guys, to put it simply. And they're very not nice, and they're the kind of people who do. Remember I was telling you about how gags can be mean or bad if you do them to hurt somebody?
He nods.
Well, these guys do a lot of that, and the first night I came here, I actually saw someone doing that. That's why I'm not a big fan of the banana peel gag. They're called the Yakuza, and a lot of them, and you can tell what they look like because a lot of them wear these pinstripe suits. That's it's a kind of clothing that has stripes on it.
And she'll elaborate if they need like more information on that, because she doesn't know like how much they know about clothing or anything like that. Probably like, give a little description, like the usual, like the suits, the fedoras, that sort of like attire that Yakuza usually wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll insight, maybe?
Oh, definitely. 23.
23. Ooh, okay. Zip like seems to be like processing this information, and like you can kind of see it's subtle, but like he seems to be connecting little dots in his head about something.
Interesting.
If you want, you can press him on it, but
What you thinking about?
She just kind of casually asks.
Oh.
Like he like thinks about it for a little bit.
You
Oh, hang
have
on.
been helpful to me. So I will provide this information.
Mhm.
Others have been told to observe the toons in the striped suits.
Really? Do you know why that is?
Unsure.
Well, I guess. Well, either that means that I guess they've been told to either watch out for them, or or the person they're working for is interested in them, and I'm not sure which option I like.
Another
Huh?
sentry class observed that they were dangerous.
Well, that's definitely true. That's why I figured I should warn you about them, because they're pretty bad, and they're definitely and unfortunately they probably won't go easy on you just because you're a kid either.
He like gets like that little insulted look again.
Statement: I am not a child.
He is in fact a child.
Minty just kind of looks at the camera like. she's not gonna argue against that, but like she's definitely giving that side glance.
The knowing look.
Yeah. well, kid or not, they're not gonna go easy on you either way. They certainly didn't go easy on me and my friends when we came. But just, if you see someone that wearing an outfit like that, maybe just it's probably safer if you hide from them. All right?
All right.
Yeah. Well, I think that's enough about that for now. Were there any other books you wanted to check out?
I think like Zip kind of like looks at the many shelves, and eventually kind of like floats up to a couple different ones, picking out like a few seemingly random history books, and bringing them back down to Minty.
Nice, yeah. She'll definitely help carry as best she can.
Mm-hmm. I would
imagine-
like these ones.
All right. I imagine she kind of like puts a couple of them on her head just because it's like easier to carry him that way.
Aw.
And she has like the ears for support too.
Do
I think
you
with that,
require assistance?
I think I got these ones. Do you want to carry maybe the other ones? I think if we split the weight, it'll be a little bit easier.
Yes. Give me one moment.
And you can kind of see him unfolding from that ship form again. Like the little two arms disconnect from the front and the back and form at his sides, and the little the rest of the ship kind of forms like a jetpack behind him. And he actually kind of opens up a panel on one of his arms, and he inputs a few things. And he's gonna cast Disguise Self.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought of this before the FPS, and I'm very glad I get to do it, but you are like the only toon he's had like one-on-one interaction with, so his disguise is just you, but purple.
Oh my god. Minty needs a minute because she is just... Hang on, I'm gonna do a wisdom save to like see if she gets like cute overload from this. I'm gonna disadvantage just for fun. Hang on.
And like instead of the heart, it's a little lightning bolt.
Oh my god! Okay, Minty has enough self-control to not like squee at the top of her lungs, but she is still just standing there like, oh, this is the cutest thing ever! She is absolutely doing the happy sparkles right now.
Yes, good. But yeah, Zip is gonna help carry the rest of the books.
Awesome.
He's like, in reality, he's kind of hovering right next to Minty and making sure he isn't going too far up, because he needs the spell
Right.
to look like he's walking.
Of course.
hmm
Don't have a floating rabbit next to her.
Yeah. And also, he probably also has like a big quote-unquote backpack behind him to disguise the jetpack of his form as well.
Oh my god. Backpack for his applesauce.
Backpack for his applesauce!
It's got that applesauce that you crave. Okay, I think I have a cute way to end this.
Mhm.
Want to start wrapping up. So I think they'll go through the whole rigmarole about, like, checking the books out and whatnot. I think after they get outside, I think we do say, like,
No, you were asking about pies earlier. There is this really good bakery down the street.
out of character, like, it'd probably be like Pam's Bakery, I'd say, right? Like that'd probably be in the
Yes,
area.
absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, they're going to Pam's Bakery then.
You're going to Pam's Bakery.
Yeah.
Well, you've seen what a library's like. Do you want to see what a bakery's like?
Statement. Yes.
All right. I think we can probably end it there. They go and have a very nice time at the bakery. They absolutely get a strawberry pie.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Hang on, wait.
Yeah.
As is customary for all the UFOs, I have to roll a con save for sugar.
Oh no, that's right.
Babies
Actually,
for
can we get
sugar.
I was gonna say, can we get advantage because Minty now knows that Mia reacted badly to sugar.
Yeah. So advantage. Alright.
So I'm pretty sure they make strawberry pie with, like, low sugar substitute. Oh no, that's a 5. Okay, so I'm thinking they get a pie that's like maybe like low sugar, like sugar substitute, but like, fruit still has a lot of sugar in it, like fructose and stuff. So Minty's like, well, this should probably be fine. It's like low sugar. I don't think like he'll react that badly. Cut to Zip like living up to his namesake, just zipping around the bakery at Mach speed.
Yeah, no, you get a first-hand witness on why his designation is Zip.
Yep.
He's fast.
Yeah.
Fast boy.
We probably end on like a still shot of like Zip like zooming all around the bakery and Minty like trying to catch him, and that's where we end
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Oh
so
my gosh.
good. I love this.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for playing this with me, Kit. This was adorable and so much
Thank
fun.
you. Yeah. Now that was so good. Oh my god. I love these two.
And thank you everybody who's listening now and who's going to listen in the future.
Yeah, thanks for being here, guys.
I bet Inky's sure excited to listen to the recording of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, and with that, I think we're gonna say goodbye to everyone listening to this recording in the future. Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's a few hours after the meeting between Z1-P and Minty. Resting atop a building that stretches far above the rest of the skyline of Toontown, the purple-eyed UFO stares up at the sky, watching the few stars beginning to appear as the sun slowly sets on the horizon. A pile of books sit beside him, one open to a page that he seems to have lost interest in long ago. He sits there, observing for a time, pondering. He eventually sighs, pulling out one of his arms and pressing a hidden button on its side, then lifting it closer to his helmet. Mission Log 002. Report. This is Z1-P Sentry Class, reporting again from Toontown. First, I would like to make an addendum. Not all Toons are openly hostile as I previously experienced. Some appear to actively dislike violence even in cases of self-defense. This observation has proven confusing. especially compared to my previous experience as explained in my last log. Today, I questioned a Toon. I observed her for some time, ensuring she would not be a threat, before temporarily abducting her for questions. She did not react to shows of force, but using the keywords please and thank you yielded better results. For simplicity, this Toon will be referred to as Minty Caretaker in my reports from now on. Minty Caretaker was very knowledgeable. She provided information about the public library, which is a location where others can borrow books containing different categories of knowledge and return them at a later date. It appears to be a primitive version of data storage. Books cannot be borrowed unless you have a library card. I do not have one, but Minty Caretaker does. We have made an arrangement. I borrow books, gather information, and return them to Minty Caretaker, who in turn returns them to the library. Today I borrowed 4 books, 101 Toonkind gags, The History of Giznut, 101 Jokes to Make Your Friends Laugh, and Run Spot Run. If you like, I will make audio recordings of their contents for you to observe. If these prove informative, I will make arrangements to return to the library and borrow more books to learn from at your request. Additional observations. Minty Caretaker explained her own negative experiences with the Toons in striped suits. They are a group known as the Yakuza, a group of Toons that are hostile towards other Toons. There apparently is a difference between a nice gag and a mean one. Minty Caretaker provided the distinction, confuse, don't abuse. The Yakuza seem to exclusively use and even enjoy mean gags, causing suffering for others. Request. Those assigned to observe them are informed of the danger to ensure caution and, ideally, guarantee safety. This is the conclusion of my report. C1-P, signing off.